Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we are back with another Star Trek unboxing, and it is another ship from the official Starships collection from Fanhome. This is the USS Archer from Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Amazing series. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely check out Strange New Worlds. It is one of my favorite Star Trek series. Definitely one of the best of the, what I would call maybe the new Trek. Kind of everything after Enterprise, I think, is kind of what we're calling New Trek, or from I guess Discovery on forward. But yeah, this was definitely a surprise hit. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this series as much as I had, and it's always a delight to get a new ship from the Fanhome subscription. So if you're interested in checking this out, I'll have a link in the description below where you can check out how to get yourself subscribed up to Fanhome's service to get these. They come like every month. You get a new ship all the time. It's very, very cool. We've been looking at all of them. We're going to have a lot more videos as well on all the rest. We have our box here, and you do sometimes get extra goodies as well. We are also doing a giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card. That's going to be announced in towards the end of February. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as one of my other videos. It's as simple as that. As we get this one open, this is going to be our only single nacelle ship, I believe, out of the entire set. Or at least the first one that I have seen so far in this series. Which is a pretty cool thing. I always like when they do different stuff with the nacelles. And every ship is going to have one of these booklets. And this is going to have technical specifications, designer notes. It's going to give you all kinds of information about the ship. It'll even tell you some of the concepts, designs and different ways that they were kind of approaching the design when they came up with it. Everything from the canon explanations to the designer notes and everything in between. So it's very cool stuff. You're going to get one of these for every single ship that you get. Big thanks to Fanhome for sending this out. And we get this open here, and we are going to have a couple of things inside the box. As you can see, we have very well protected. We have our ship model here, and we have the stand, and then the top piece of the stand. This is going to be a weighted stand with a felt bottom. All of the stands do have this felt bottom to help it kind of not slip and slide, but it's also a little bit heavy to kind of keep the ship in place. You're going to have this part here, and then this will go in here like so to hold the ship in place. Every stand is going to be customized per ship, but that's not what you want to see. You want to see the actual ship itself. We're going to gently raise it out of here, and it does come out quite nicely. Wasn't expecting to really like the look of this ship as much from the outside of the box, but once I have it in hand, wow, that is really cool. That is it's a good design. I'm really liking this one. The single nacelle. If you only got one, you better make it count, and they really made it count. Let's look a little closer. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at the ship here. Now, one of the interesting things about this ship is that, like, all of these ships, while they are sort of around the same size and take up about the same footprint on your shelf, they are not necessarily all in scale with each other. For example, this is actually a very small ship, has a crew complement of only 3. Now, that doesn't mean that it's the size of a shuttlecraft. It's definitely bigger than a shuttlecraft, but it is a small ship as it applies to kind of what you normally expect when you think of a saucer section and nacelle. This is definitely probably one of the in-universe smallest ships of this set. Is definitely the smallest crewed ship, but that being said, it is still going to be about the same size as most of your other ships in your collection, so they will all be displayed together with each other. Now, when we look at this, one of the things I want to point out is that I think the attention to detail on this is striking, especially from the bottom view. What I am less crazy about is the top view. I feel like while there, we definitely have our decals. We could have probably had a little bit more shading in the lines, in the deck plating and stuff. We do have a kind of a sort of a paint application on here that does show some wear and tear along the plating here, but we don't have any distinction within the kind of the sculpted lines within this mold. And I think this is an opportunity for like a heavier wash on here, or individual paint applications that could have given a little bit more detail to some of the top section. This part leaves a little bit to be desired, whereas once we flip it over is where we actually get better detailing. We have, for example, these brown lines. We've got a lot more paint applications on here. We still have the same kind of overall kind of hull. I guess we would call this kind of a format of the hull, or a template of the hull. But we have a lot more detail-oriented pieces here on the bottom, including like the orange bits, the brown bits, our little. We have our acrylic bit here on the front of the nacelle, which is definitely one of the hallmarks of this line. There are a lot of colored acrylic pieces to kind of allow the light to catch them and to make the ships pop a little bit more. The problem that I have with this one, though, when looking at it from this perspective, is when you display it, it's probably not going to be like this, right? And this would almost make more sense to look at it like this. But I mean, the ship is supposed to be flown from this orientation, and you're putting its least detailed side most visible, and that's kind of unfortunate. Now, there are still a lot of extra details, pieces to have when you look at this, and this is one of the reasons I think if you're going to have this whole collection, you know, this isn't something you want to just display and never look at. I think you're going to want to be able to take these off of the bases, pick them up, hold them in your hands, show them to your friends. You know, they are sealed, so again, the paint's not going to come off on your fingers. You can touch them. You can definitely do that, and it's going to be okay. I do like some of the extra little attention to detail on the back of the nacelle here, and again, that's kind of facing down. You'll probably never see that. Let's just so to get an idea of it on the stand here. It's going to go, I believe, like this, and there we go. And we're going to hold it, and it's going to go in there, like so. So again, it's going to be facing up. You'll have to take it out of the stand to actually flip it over and look at some of the extra pieces of detail. And you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to show it to your friends like that. Everybody's going to want to pick it up and take a look at it. Just to show you kind of how it looks on the stand, I think if you're going to display this one, you'll probably want it on one of your higher shelves, because if you can get eye length with it, as I lower the camera here, you kind of get a much better look at this ship, sort of like that. So if you have multiple shelves, place it on a high shelf so the eye level kind of hits it this way. It looks a lot better that way. Let's also compare this to some of the other ships of this line. So here I have it set up next to a couple of other ships from this line. Now, there are a lot of ships, and maybe at some point I'll kind of showcase all of them together, but it's hard to fit all of them in one shot. So usually I'll just pick a couple other ones. I want to pick an older, an older style ship, the Farragut here. Again, older style ship, about the same sort of size, at least in as it'll take up on your shelf. There are some that are a little bit less wide. The Excelsior, for example, we know is definitely much larger than this ship, but you can kind of see that it's going to have about the same imprint on your shelves. We've got the Titan here, and they're all kind of different in how they're posed. Like the Titan's like flying up a little bit more on its base. You've got the Enterprise F, which is definitely one of the larger ships. You know, definitely. So we're taking them off as we're pulling them out here to kind of size them up here. You can kind of get an idea, but not all of them are the exact same size, but they are all scaled differently. So this way they do all kind of fit on roughly the same size base to be kind of in the same ballpark as far as how much space they're going to take up on your shelf. All right, so that has been our look at the USS Archer NCC 627 from Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This one, I will be honest, not one of my favorite ships, but I do like the interesting look of that nacelle. It has a very classic and kind of old Trek sort of design to it, and I think they definitely captured that old Trek feel. I just wish there was a little bit more paint applications on the top of the saucer section. But apparently, you know, that's just not the way this one was. I do like the entire line of the official Starships collection. And again, you know, not every ship that you're going to get is going to be your favorite, but you are going to get a pretty wide variety of ships from multiple different shows and timelines. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. So I like what they're doing here. And if you want to check this out, for yourself. You can have I'll have a link down in the video description where you can sign up for the official Starships collection or other amazing Fanhome projects. There's a lot of really, really cool ones out there, whether you like Star Trek, Star Wars, or any other type of fandom. They have a lot of different things that are available. And you're also going to get these awesome books that give you a lot of additional information about the ships and the design process, and also the episodes that they were featured in, and even more. That's about all we have for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to Fanhome, and big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. You can't take the sky from me. The spice must flow, and always wash your sides.